Start.
Good morning, it's October 24th, and I'm doing an interview with Mrs. Vokes, and my name is Brianna White.
Good morning.
Good morning. What is your occupation?
I'm a registered nurse.
And what is your recommended education or training path to be a nurse?
There are lots of opportunities for nursing education. My recommendation would be to ultimately have a goal of pursuing a baccalaureate in nursing. You can begin that process if you are anxious to be in the work world and to have the opportunity, like yourself, to perhaps apply it to the missions field, to begin with an associate degree program. And that's exactly what I did. Granted, it was 35 years ago, but I went to a school in Syracuse. It was State University of New York at Upstate Medical Center, where I received an associate's degree. And I began to work because that was what I wanted to do. That was what I was motivated and excited to do. And knowing that I must continue toward my baccalaureate, I took coursework as I worked. And I finished my bachelor's degree in a RN to BSN program at the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. And while I continued to work, I knew that there were things I needed to do and areas I needed to discover. So I worked on my master's degree, and I received my master's in nursing from Pleasantville, Pace University.
Wow. Okay. So Mrs. Vokes, what do you think is the most valuable skill for this job?
Actually, it's not so much the most valuable skill as the most valuable blessing. It is the best job I could ever have because it is a profession that is spiritually driven. And I don't say that I can't say that I went into the role as a Christian. I became a Christian once I was a nurse. But I knew that I wanted to be a nurse from when I was a very little girl. My mother was diagnosed with cancer. I was way too young to comprehend the magnitude of what that meant for her and for what it meant for her life, but I was impressionable. And I wanted to be like those nurses who were caring for her in the most compassionate and kind and skillful way. So that's what motivated me at a very, very young age, perhaps 7, 8 years old. There aren't a lot of people who are blessed in that way in life who have that opportunity to start thinking about a profession so young. And I've never veered from that area. So it is an absolute blessing because God gives you an opportunity to be with people at their very best of times and their very worst of times. And an opportunity to minister to their heart as well as to their body.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your outlook for this profession?
It is constantly changing. It is impacted heavily by healthcare policy, impacted heavily by finance and insurance reimbursement, but it will never change in that when you are a nurse, you can, and I say this in the kindest of ways, do anything. Whether you choose to run for political office as a nurse, your background and experience will impact your decision making. Whether you choose to go into the mission field, you will always have those clinical skills that will accompany the work that you are being asked to do. Whether you choose to work as a nurse in a school district where you are the school nurse working with the health needs of the small children. Whether you work as I do in an acute care facility in which we go from the ridiculous to the sublime. Where I care for people who have traumatic injury, the critical care type activities, post-anesthesia care. There are so many opportunities. So it is a growing profession, it is a respected profession, and it is what you make of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.